There is a question humanity has been trying to answer for centuries. How big is the universe? And every time someone thinks they've understood the answer, another number comes along and destroys it. Today we're going to try to understand it. Not with equations, with comparisons. Because the problem isn't that the numbers are complicated. The problem is that the human brain isn't built to handle this kind of scale. We evolved to calculate whether an animal was bigger than us, or whether a tree was far away. Not to contemplate distances of 93 billion light years. So we're going from small to large, step by step, from the solar system to the edge of the observable universe and beyond. And I'm warning you now, at some point, the numbers are going to stop making sense to your brain. Not because you're misunderstanding anything, but because the scale of the universe is genuinely beyond what the human mind was built to picture. That isn't a warning, it's a promise. We start at home. Light takes 8 minutes to travel from the sun to Earth. When you look at the sun, what you're seeing isn't the sun as it is right now. It's the sun as it was 8 minutes ago. You are already 8 minutes behind reality, and you haven't even left the neighborhood. Light takes 8 minutes to travel from the sun to Earth. That means, when you look at the sun, what you're seeing isn't the sun as it is right now. It's the sun as it was 8 minutes ago. You are already 8 minutes behind reality, and you haven't even left the neighborhood. Light takes 4 hours to reach Neptune, the most distant planet in the solar system. And the Voyager 1 probe, which has been traveling continuously for nearly 50 years, is more than 23 light hours from here. A radio signal traveling at the speed of light takes over 23 hours to travel from where Voyager currently is back to Earth. 23 hours of signal. And Voyager is barely crossing the outer edge of our solar system. It hasn't even come close to the nearest star. For that, it would need another 75,000 years. The nearest star to our sun is called Proxima Centauri. It is 4.2 light years away. That means light, traveling at 300,000 kilometers per second, takes 4 years and 2 months to get there. 4 years for the fastest thing in the universe to reach the closest possible neighbor. Try to picture what that means in real terms. If you shrank the sun to the size of an orange and put it in New York City, Proxima Centauri, at the same scale, would be in Tokyo. The space between the two oranges would be completely empty. Nothing in between. Not even the thinnest wisp of anything. Just void. That is the distance between two neighboring stars. And Proxima Centauri is literally the house next door. The closest thing we have, the second nearest star, is at 4.3 light years. The most distant stars visible to the naked eye are hundreds of light years away. And none of them, not one, is outside our own galaxy. The universe hasn't even started when we reach the nearest star. The Milky Way, our galaxy, is about 100,000 light years across. It contains between 100 billion and 400 billion stars, including the sun, including every star you can see with the naked eye on a clear night, and hundreds of billions more that you can't because they're too far away. The sun sits about 26,000 light years from the galactic center. Not at the center, not at the edge, but roughly a third of the way in from the edge, on a secondary spiral arm, in a fairly ordinary neighborhood of the galaxy, with nothing especially remarkable nearby. If you wanted to cross the Milky Way from one side to the other, traveling at the speed of light, the absolute maximum speed allowed by the laws of physics, it would take 100,000 years. Every human civilization that has ever existed, every war, every empire, every discovery, compressed together, would not be enough time to cross our own galaxy at the fastest speed the universe permits. And we have never taken a real photograph of the Milky Way from the outside. There are no real photographs. Everything you see is an illustration based on data. We have never sent a camera far enough outside our galaxy to take the image, and even if we had, the signal would take tens of thousands of years to return. The nearest galaxy to our own is called Andromeda. It is 2.5 million light years away. It contains more than 1 trillion stars and is about 220,000 light years across. It is larger than our galaxy. Andromeda is the most distant object you can see with the naked eye. In a dark sky, it appears as a faint, fuzzy patch in the constellation of Andromeda. What your eye is seeing isn't a star. It is an entire galaxy with more than 1 trillion stars, so far away that the light reaching your eye right now left there 2.5 million years ago, before Homo sapiens existed. And there is something else about Andromeda. It is approaching. It is heading toward us at about 110 kilometers per second. In roughly 4.5 billion years, Andromeda and the Milky Way will collide and merge into a new galaxy. It won't be an explosion. It will be a gravitational dance lasting billions of years. Stars are so small compared to the distances between them that almost none will actually collide. But the night sky, for anyone looking, will be completely different. Andromeda is 2.5 million light years away. In the scale of the observable universe, that is literally the house next door. The observable universe, the part of the universe from which light can reach us, is about 93 billion light years across. Within that sphere, there are hundreds of billions of galaxies. Some recent studies suggest the number could approach 2 trillion when you include the smallest and faintest galaxies that current telescopes can barely detect. 2 trillion galaxies. Each galaxy with hundreds of billions of stars, and around many of those stars, planets. The number of planets in the observable universe is so large it has no meaningful comparison to anything in human experience. We are not alone in the solar system. We are not alone in the galaxy. The question isn't whether other worlds exist. The question is, what is on them? The James Webb Space Telescope took an image called Webb's First Deep Field. In that image, you can see a patch of sky the size of a grain of sand held at arm's length. A grain of sand. And in that grain of sand, there are thousands of galaxies. Some of the objects in that image are so far away that the light showing them left shortly after the Big Bang. We are literally seeing the universe as a newborn. But there is something else. The observable universe is not the universe. It is only the part of it from which light can reach us. Because the universe is 13.8 billion years old, and light that has been traveling for more than 13.8 billion years hasn't had time to arrive. What is beyond the observable horizon? Probably more universe, more galaxies, more stars, more planets. Cosmological models suggest the actual universe could be at least 250 times larger than the observable portion. Some models make it infinite. Infinite. Not as a figure of speech, as a real mathematical possibility. A universe that extends without limit in every direction, filled with galaxies and stars and planets forever, with no edge to reach. And if that is true, then somewhere in that infinite universe, there is an exact copy of Earth, and an exact copy of you. Mathematically, in an infinite universe, everything that can happen not only can happen, but does happen infinitely many times. This is a real consequence of physics, not science fiction. To finish understanding the scale, there is one fact I like particularly. The largest galaxy we know of is called IC 1101. It is 4 million light years across. Our Milky Way is 100,000 light years across. IC 1101 is 40 times larger. If you place the Milky Way inside IC 1101, the Milky Way would be like a coin inside a football stadium. And IC 1101 is just one of hundreds of billions of galaxies in the observable universe. It isn't the most distant galaxy. It isn't the oldest. It has nothing especially remarkable about it except its size. And that is already enough to make our galaxy, with its 400 billion stars, feel like a coin lost inside a football stadium. IC 1101 is just one of hundreds of billions of galaxies we know about. And it is just sitting there, quietly, 1.07 billion light years away, being enormous. And after all of that, there is one question I can't stop asking. What does it mean that we are a species living on a small planet, orbiting an ordinary star, in a secondary arm of a medium-sized galaxy, which is one among hundreds of billions, inside an observable universe that may itself be a tiny fraction of the real universe? There are two ways to answer that. The first is to feel insignificant, small, irrelevant, a speck of dust on a scale that no human brain can truly process. The second is the opposite. To be here, in this corner of the cosmos, with a brain capable of asking these questions, of measuring these distances, of building telescopes that see galaxies 13 billion light years away, of understanding even partially the magnitude of what surrounds us, that may be one of the most extraordinary things that has ever happened in the universe. The universe is so vast, it seems impossible to believe. And we are the part of the universe that figured out how vast it is.